So Kevin, in terms of customer service, someone has a problem or an issue in the store. How do they communicate with you and your company, and how do you remedy customer issues as they come up?
Okay. Well, we always have someone on call, and if a customer is out there, has a problem, whether it's they need to rewash or dry or whatever, there's our phone number to our office, and if we don't pick up at the office, brings through to a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week live answering service. It's not a machine, it's a person, and then they write up the description of the problem, and then they'll text that out to a group of us, and whoever is designated as on call for that day and time will return the call and talk to the customer and see what needs to be done. Card systems, of course, have made such a difference. Years ago, with coins, we'd get to the point perhaps where we'd have to tell the customer, well, there's nothing, I can't get you a refund right now. But card systems have changed that. So now we can do on-the-spot refunds, and they'll say, well, what am I going to do? We'll say, well, we'll put the money right back on your card, and you can just use the machine next to the one that had a problem. And that 9 times out of 10 takes care of it. If all of those calls, by the way, that come through to our answering service, they're emailed to us, and in our system, we can export the various emails to a spreadsheet, and they are all archived, and we keep track of them. Sometimes if we can't reach a customer once they've called in, we can follow up the next day or so, and we make sure that each message or each customer call is addressed one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Our rule is to get back to customers within 5 minutes, and I have to admit we don't always do that, but that's our goal. And that lets the customer know there's someone there, they don't worry about it. It really makes a difference, I think, to do a little more than they expect. And then they'll say, well, I didn't have had a problem, but it was well taken care of, and they don't hesitate to come back the next time they have to do their laundry.
Yeah, and Kevin, maybe I can follow up because you talked about you tracking issues and cataloging those issues. I imagine that helps inform your repair and maintenance plan. I don't know if you kind of reset that on a weekly basis or day to day or monthly, or can you tell us a little bit about kind of what system you've got in place for making sure that those repairs and maintenance issues are being addressed? Because obviously you're tracking the feedback from customers, but obviously you're also stopping in the store and identifying issues that need to be repaired.
Sure. Well, I think as Brian mentioned, machines are a lot smarter these days than they used to be, and they're a lot more reliable. So that's good. That really, really helps us. We can pretty much count on going into a store and seeing 98% of the machines running. So for the 2% that aren't, sometimes it comes from a customer who was called in and spoken to the answering service, and I said that goes through, and we have a way of flagging that. It's all color coded, but it's flagged as a maintenance issue, and then that gets checked before we go out, and we make a list and put it into the bag for that store, so we go out knowing what to expect for that particular machine. The other thing I made a note of that I think is good to mention is that the card system data lets us generate what we call an idle machine report. And that happens every morning. And every morning we take a look at the data from the previous day, and it's accumulated week to date and whatever. And that is processed by a spreadsheet, and that gives us a list of machines that the spreadsheet expected to be running and haven't been used, haven't spent. And that's something that I think even if we had an attendant there, the attendant might not pick up on a couple of clothes or whatever sitting in a machine that people won't be using. So that lets us make sure that all of our machines are operational and ready for the weekend when, of course, those are our 2 busiest days.